Good morning, beautiful people. Today is Friday, April 25th. It is 8:12 or 8:13 now a.m. Today's a special day because it's not just a regular work day. I'm actually going to Quebec City. I'm driving almost 3 hours to go and pick up a brand new watch, which I'm excited to show to you guys on here. But with that being said, I'm going to start off the day with a half work day if you want. Fridays are my content days, which means I sit down and batch my content usually for either the next week to come or the next few weeks to come. And so I've got 2 long-form videos planned out to shoot this morning, a couple of ads also I want to launch for the business. And so I'm about to sit down right now at the battle station and get started with that. I'm planning on ending work at about 11:30 or so a.m. to then go and grab lunch real quick and then head out to Quebec City. So let's get started. I'll leave you guys into a little secret. You can see like my office usually is very bright, has like these 2 big windows on each side, but luckily I have, and if I show you right here, these blackout blinds right there. There we go. And so what I do is every morning whenever I'm about to shoot my content, and it's also because look, I'm like Eastern facing, so every morning I get like sunrise right over there. So all I end up doing is turning down the blinds like this here, and then I'm pretty much transforming my office into a, man, this is hard to do while I film, but I'm transforming my office into like a controlled lighting environment. And so what I do from there is you'll hear, Alexa, turn on office.
Okay.
And then it's gonna bring up in a second. Here you go. So I got the light right here. I got a light behind me, the neon bar behind the couch. And then if I actually also turn down the blind right in front of me, you'll see that a little better in the back. And then the only other thing I typically do is this light right here. I just go out, got a little remote. I turn it on, press on, and then boom. I'm now fully ready to start shooting. And so the content for today is the following. So I'll show you a little bit behind the scenes about how I do this. So as an example, if I turn this around, what I typically have is like these tasks on my Google Calendar with like a video. And then I always come up with the title first and then just a general idea of what the video is going to be about. I've also pre-made a Miro board already for this video. So all I have to do now is like open up the Miro board. I got the general idea. I got the title idea. So then now I can just start shooting. So this actually came from like a consulting call I had with one of our Ad Engine 101 client, Baptiste. So with that being said, this is often how I get a lot of my ideas. It's either some of our client accounts, something happened. It's either a conversation I had with a current client, a prospect, or an Ad Engine 101 client. And so usually this is where I get a lot of my inspo to then turn that into an actual content piece. So that's what I'm about to do now, shoot 2 videos. Got a few tasks, a few follow-ups to do. As I mentioned earlier, some ads to launch, and so let's get going. To show you a little bit the behind the scenes, I got OBS opened up, ready to record. My microphone is taken out right here. You can actually see when I speak, you can see the microphone, moving right there. I got the camera ready right here, which I just got to hit record on it, and then I can start shooting from there. So it's about how it looks like. Now you can see the lighting is a little more controlled, so you can kind of see this looks a little more like a YouTube video. YouTube videos with the camera that I have, it actually puts the white walls a little darker. So I shine more because I'm in focus with the camera. Skin tone's white, and I usually always wear black. And that's something too that like I've really tried with time. I tried to wear like different colors on camera, and every time like with my team, we've just kind of been saying like the black just looks a lot better with it. Whenever I wear white, my skin is like weirdly exposed. I feel that whenever I wear black, it's like an even exposure, and so hence why I just always wear black nowadays. And anyway, our company colors are like black and gold, so might as well stick with some black and gold, and it fits well with the plaque also on the background. So I'm gonna start shooting here, and then we'll see you after. So to create a brand new ad account, what you want to do is you want to head to your business settings on Facebook. How do you do this? business.facebook.com/latest/settings. Little update. Now it's 9:09, so literally less than an hour since checking in with you guys. It's usually pretty quick, to be honest. Like when I've taken the time the day before my recording day to like prepare all my videos, I am just like hitting the ground running. I prepare my setup, hit record, and like I can bang out 2 videos fairly quickly, which is what I just did right now. And then now I'm like reviewing some of the ads that we made for some of our clients. This is one of our newest clients as an example, Section 8 Karim right here. So if I hit play, you can see the
Seriously,
ad
man, it's completely free.
that
My
we
goal with
just
this
made
training
for
is
him.
to show anyone how they can get started with Section 8 around a 14
I'm like skip through a little bit. So anyways, you get the gist of it. So doing a little bit of QA this morning on some ads, making sure that we're good to go on some of our clients, and then I've got, what else do I have? That's about it, to be honest. I also got to pay a few team members. I have to pay them in 2 batches because I have like a pretty low limit of transfers that I can do on a given day-to-day basis. So I paid like half the team yesterday. I'm going to pay the other half today, and we'll go from there. I'm now reviewing like a new VSL my team sent me that I had them edit, which essentially is pretty sick. It's actually a video for like our new careers and like hiring page at the agency, which is like pretty nice. So it starts off with me, like typical sort of VSL, speak to screen, like talking ahead. And then afterwards it cuts to like some of our team members, you know, right here talking about their experience working with us. And so, yeah, it's a pretty nice video to now invite more people to join us in our mission at paidadvertising.com. And now we've also been expanding a lot more into the French market lately. I've really seen opportunity there, which I could probably talk a little about in a separate video. But all that to say now, wrapping up, checking out this video. Got a few more tasks. I've already launched also the ads that I said earlier I was going to launch. So basically schedule them on some on TikTok and then some on Meta. Also, it's here. What I'm trying actually is I've hired a new content agency for short form content, and they told me that they boost posts every 3 days, typically with like a lifetime budget. So I was like, you know what? I never have boosted posts ever. I'm usually more of a direct response ads guy. So I was like, let me try it. So that's what I'm doing now. Some tests as of tomorrow on both TikTok and Meta to see how the boosted post will do. Whether or not this is going to actually like help me get more reach and views and you know, followers on my Instagram and TikTok account. So we'll see. So I just got done eating lunch. We have this amazing cafe at my apartment building. Let me try and show you quickly. Like, this is what I got for my fiance right here. Camera won't go down further. This is this home cooked meals that we can just go and grab downstairs, which honestly tastes amazing. So finished eating that. Now I'm packing up my bags. I'm probably gonna bring my laptop because I might be arriving a little early in Quebec City. So I'm like, might as well get some work done while we wait for my appointment. So just packing up my laptop. Man, I don't know if anybody watching that has been debating just like me. Like, I personally have a 16-inch MacBook Pro. I had a 16-inch for years, or in fact, I had a 13-inch. I got a 16-inch like 4 years ago. Had it for 4 years. Just changed it again to the new 16-inch. But the thing is, like, this thing is thick. Like, if you look into my backpack, there's honestly not that much space as soon as you put this laptop in, and it goes like almost to the brim, so you can barely close the bag. So has been this debate. My fiance is getting annoyed by me because I keep going back on like whether or not I prefer the smaller laptops, like the 14-inch now, which used to be the 13-inch, which is what I used to have, not the 16-inch. I'm like, I like the screen estate of the 16-inch, but I like the portability of the 14. So let me know in the comments down below. You prefer 13-inch or 14-inch laptops or 16-inch? All right, so finally leaving the house right now. I'm gonna pull out of the parking. I don't know if you're gonna hear this. Let's see if you're gonna hear that. When I try, I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if you heard the upshift nor the little pops and burples, but man, gotta love my car for that. I swear. The sound is so nice in the SQ5. But yeah, going out to Quebec City right now. It's gonna be a long one. I mean, if I look at it right now, GPS is telling me what, about 3 hours or so, or 2 hours and 57 minutes. So not gonna be too bad. I've got 28 minutes left on my current audiobook. I've been listening to Rich Dad Poor Dad now for a couple of weeks. It's a classic, honestly. I just never had listened to it, so I was like, might as well start it at some point. And then I bought the setup by Dan Bilzerian, which that too was, I wouldn't call it a classic, but it's been one on my list now for some time. Just curious to see how he set up his life, to be honest, to look a certain way on the gram. So once I'm done with Rich Dad Poor Dad, I'm going to start listening to that one, and I might have some more calls here and there that might come through. Like I told the team I was going to be driving, but they could reach me at any point, so we'll see. But yeah, getting ready now for a long drive, so here we go.
listened to an album, and I was shocked that I liked almost every song. To this day, those were the best concerts I've ever been to. During the show in Nuremberg, the lead singer spread his arms, and the crowd parted like Moses with the Red Sea.
I'm almost in Quebec City. You can see the bridge over there, which for all of you French Canadians or Quebecers, you know that this bridge, you go from Lévis to Quebec, which is where it's just where I'm at right now. So it's been 3 hours long. I'm literally almost done it now with the setup from down in Missouri, and I actually had a lot less the finish from Rich Dad Poor Dad. So anyways, that was good. Setup, to be honest, not as good as I thought it was going to be as a book. There's still some lessons in there, not going to lie, but it's honestly, if you want to figure out how to pick up girls quite a lot, it's good for you. But if you're a little less than 2 months out from being married like me, it's probably not the book to read. There you go. All right, here we are now. After 3 hours of driving, we've arrived. So let's go pick up the watch. All right, so we do have the goods. I'm gonna try and show you right here with one hand, trying to get the box. If you know anything about watches, you can see that if you see a box like that, it is a vintage piece. So let me remove that real quick. We've got the OG boxes right here. I'm gonna try and open this up with one hand. Here we go. Vintage Day-Date. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull this out with one hand. There you go. Vintage Day-Date right here. The traditional, you know, classic 36 millimeter champagne dial with the little Roman numerals on the top, which I think are sick. Of course, presidential bracelet right here. I'm not wearing it right now because honestly it is a little big. I'm gonna have to go get it resized back home. I'll literally have to cut links off of it because yeah, there's only 2 links we were able to remove from it, and any more than that. But here you go. A long drive, 3 hours literally to come here and get this watch. Now I'm about to drive back another 3 hours to come back home, but you could say it was worth it. So yeah, I'm gonna be able to rock this right now. Timeless classic for the foreseeable future. So good one. Pulling out of the driveway, check the Urus of the owner. It actually looks pretty sick. So I put on the watch. You're gonna see it right here. So definitely a little big right now. I mean, I've removed as many links as I can, but I'm probably gonna need to literally permanently cut off like 1 or 2 more links because yeah, I mean, I do have pretty small wrists, but a 36 millimeter definitely does not look bad on me considering, again, a small wrist size. It makes total sense. So we'll just have to alter it a little bit to make this fit better, or else this happens. I'm currently listening to a podcast by Alex Hermosi. One thing I do want to add is honestly now I've been driving for how long? 4 hours and 19 minutes and 300, let me just put the volume down a little bit, 315 kilometers of driving right now, which is a lot of dead time. So I'm trying to make the most out of this driving time. Every time I go for a long drive, which is not often, but I'd like to say maybe at very least once a quarter, but honestly year to date, it's probably been once a month. So it's been happening a lot more. I don't know why. I've just been on the road a little more this year. I try to make the most out of that downtime. So would that be an audiobook? Would that be a podcast? I try and catch up with family. Like I just spoke to my fiance and also spoke to my brother over the phone for some time. And so I highly recommend to do either of the things that I just mentioned here, because look, what else would you do, right? And I feel before I used to just do nothing. Like I would literally listen to music driving on for hours, and I always felt like guilty about going on a trip like this. I was like, man, I'm out here driving, like, this is useless, this sucks. And granted, I love driving, don't get me, I absolutely love driving, but I was like, man, this is a waste of time. But now though, at least listening to podcast or an audiobook, or again taking some calls, would those be work calls, team calls, and calling up family and friends, just makes up for the downtime you get when driving like this. So I got about 3 hours worth of podcast now that I downloaded, so stacking them up one after the other, and we'll see what we learn. You know you're about to come back to Montreal when you see on the highway little panel talking about the Habs hockey game tonight. Third one of the series against the Washington Capitals. You know you're a Montreal City boy when you, or at least anybody from Quebec for that matter, when you support the Habs. So we're almost back home. We're like 6 and something, almost 6.5 hours into this road trip. You can literally see outside. I mean, it's sun is setting as of now. So left the house at like 12 p.m. It is now 7:03 p.m. So anyways, long story short, it's been a long day, but it's worth it. I will probably have to resize the watch, to be honest, because again, I've taken out 2 links from it, but it's definitely not enough. I mean, I think some people would rock the watch loose, kind of as I have it right now, but I prefer it neat and clean and like tight. Pause, but we're now a couple days later. As you can see, my outfit has changed. We're also back home. So I just came back from going to a jeweler because I had to remove a link on my watch. So essentially showing you now, it fits a whole lot better. So it looks a lot like tighter and neater now. So this is again like pretty much perfect fit for it. I had removed the 2 links that you can remove on this Day-Date, but I unfortunately had to cut one of the fixed links because I have very, very tiny wrists. I thought I was gonna have to cut at least 2 fixed links, but it was only 1. So shouldn't really hurt resale value too much, considering that anybody who wants to, wear this watch can add back at least 2 of the links that I removed. I still have the fixed link, so anyways, it can be sold back if someone wants to, but all that to say, now it fits me, I can wear it, it can have some proper wrist time. And so, was it worth the trip? I don't know. You tell me in the comments down below. I drove for about almost 7 hours to go and get this watch. So about like 600 kilometers of driving to and from Quebec City to go and get that watch last Friday. So now to give it a little context as to why I got this watch in the first place, if you remember in some of my other videos, you might have seen me wearing my Explorer 2. So I had 2 Rolexes, so the Explorer 2 and the Datejust. So I was wearing my Datejust a whole lot more than I was wearing the Explorer 2. And the whole reason why I got the Explorer 2 was to have a slightly nicer watch. But the thing is, well, I mean, 1, it's very bulky on my wrist. I have super small wrists. 2, it's not only heavy, but the sharp edges of it, because of how bulky the watch is, it would like hit my little like wrist bone essentially, and it would just bruise me. Like every time I would wear that watch, I would get bruised up and it would like hurt after maybe 6 or 7 hours of wearing this watch. So I just wouldn't really wear it that much. So with that being said, I wanted to have a watch that was not only smaller, but also a nicer watch, which was the whole point of me, again, getting an Explorer 2 at the start. So this is why I went with the classic version of the Day-Date. Again, it's a 36 millimeter, so you can see on like my wrist size, it's really not that bad. Like does not look too big, whatsoever. And now with like 1 remove fixed link, it just looks a whole lot better. So that was that kind of second reason why I also wanted to get this watch, was to commemorate achieving $1 million a year run rate. We've now had almost 2 consecutive years where we're going to be doing $1 million, and so this is a pretty significant milestone for myself, having started the business now 5 years ago. And you can trace this back on the channel. If you scroll back up in my older videos, you can see that my first videos that I posted were in early 2021, which was a few months after starting the business. And so that being said, kind of had a pretty rapid growth in the first year, stayed somewhat stable into the first half of the second year, rapid growth second half of my second year, and then I stayed stable for a year and a half, and then boomed again on year like 4 and 5. So all that to say, business has its ups and downs. Mainly it's, plateaus at certain points. Hard sometimes to pass by those plateaus, but really happy now that, we can consider ourselves a 7-figure business officially in the last, couple of months. So as of 2024, essentially, we could have considered ourselves a 7-figure business. So I thought, what better way than to reward myself with not only a nice watch that I know is going to get wrist time, and that also is like an OG copywriter watch if you want. Like I'm gonna put the ad on screen right here, the president's watch, the original ad in the I think it was the early 60s that this ad was published, which gives off a Eugene Schwartz or David Ogilvy vibe, which is all I'm about, right? If you look into our website at paidadvertising.com, I've inspired myself a lot from OG copywriters, and I'm like, well, this again gives an OG copywriter feel. So to dress your watch, a little smaller than my Explorer 2, so I can definitely, wear that some more. Looks sick, and it's officially like my now new grail in my collection if you want. So thank you to anyone who's been supporting the channel now for a couple of years. I'm looking forward to keep on sharing updates with you every couple of weeks, every couple of months, or perhaps every year. Who knows how often I'm going to be doing those, but more specifically when there are important milestones in the business. I love to be able to share those with you guys that have been supporting the channel now for a couple of years. So with that being said, I'm going to leave 2 links in the description down below as always if you want to work with myself and the team at pitadvertising.com, either on the agency side or our Ad Engine 101 Inner Circle side. And I'll invite you to check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce and info product marketing tips. And I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.